Good day, everybody. Today we are going to discuss about the Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers, the Preamble, and Article 1. Pursuant to the provisions of paragraph C, Article 11 of Ordinance Number 7836, otherwise known as the Philippine Teachers Professionalization Act of 1994, and paragraph A, Section 6 of Presidential Decree Number 223, as amended, the Board for Professional Teachers hereby adopt the Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers. This is the preamble of the professional teachers. Teachers are duly licensed professionals who possesses dignity and reputation with high moral values as well as technical and professional competence in the practice of their novel profession, and they strictly adhere to, observe, and practice these set of ethical and moral principles, standards, and values. Article 1, the scope and limitations. Under the Section 1, the Philippine Constitution provides that all educational institutions shall offer quality education for all competent teachers. Committed to its full realization, the provision of this code shall apply, therefore, to all teachers in schools in the Philippines. Under Article 1, Section 2, the code covers all public and private school teachers in all educational institutions at the preschool, primary, elementary, and secondary levels, whether academic, vocational, special, technical, or non-formal. The term teacher shall include industrial arts or vocational teachers and all other persons performing supervisory and or administrative functions in all school at the aforesaid levels, whether on full-time basis or on a part-time basis. Our review of the preamble in Article 1 tells that the teachers who have no license are not included in the group of professional teachers. Again, those who have no license are not included in the group of professional teachers. All teachers, both in public and private, in all levels, from preschool to secondary, whether they are academic, vocational, special, technical, or non-formal, are included in the definition of professional teachers and are therefore required of a professional license and are subject to the Code of Ethics for professional teachers. So we go on to the next lesson, which is all about the Code of Ethics for professional teachers, the relationships with the secondary and tertiary stakeholders. Of this lesson, we are going to explain how professional teachers should relate to the state, community, and parents, all education, which are all education stakeholders. So pag-uusapan muna natin, so under Article 2, see teacher and the state. Let's always remember that the education of a child is not the sole responsibility of school heads and teachers. In fact, school heads and teachers cannot do it by themselves. As the African proverb says, it takes a whole village to raise a child. Again, it takes a whole village to raise a child. The Code of Ethics cites different groups of external stakeholders with whom schools and teachers have to relate and work for the education of the child because we really need the help of one another, not just by the teachers or your school heads, kundi buong komunidad. These are the states which stated in Article 2, our community, which is also um, stated in Article 3, and parents, which is stated in Article 4. The secondary stakeholders indirectly received the service. These are the learner's parents. Also, tertiary stakeholders are indirect but have crucial participants in the process of children's education. These are the future employers, which is the government or the state and the society in general. So, Article 2, Section 1, the schools are the nurseries of the future citizens. future citizens of the state. Each teacher is a trustee of the cultural and educational heritage of the nation and is under obligation to transmit to learners such heritage as well as to elevate national morality, promote national pride, cultivate love of country, instill allegiance to the Constitution and respect for all duly constituted authorities, and promote obedience to the laws of the state. So it's your responsibility to promote and include in your discussion or in the curriculum as a teacher the love for our country. The dictionary defines nursery. What is nursery ba? Nursery as a place where babies and young children are cared for while their parents are somewhere else. In horticulture, a nursery is a place where young plants and trees are cultivated and grown. Both of these definitions may apply to the statement in the Code of Ethics that schools are the nurseries of the citizens of the state. Indeed, parents leave their children in schools, tama ba? Hindi mo naman siguro kasama yung mama mo or papa mo sa loob ng klase. So under the care of the teachers while your parents are working. Like nurseries where young plants are cultivated and grown, schools through teachers are entrusted with the noble task of instilling pride in workers one's cultural and educational heritage, love of country, and sowing the seeds of national morality. These are many things in our Filipino culture that we can be proud of and are therefore worth preserving and passing on to maintain Filipino identity and promote national pride and cultivate love of our country. The Section 2 states that every teacher or school official shall actively help carry out the declared policies of the state and shall take an oath to this effect. While the Section 3 states, in the interest of the state and of the Filipino people, as much as of his own, every teacher shall be physically, mentally, and morally fit. Every teacher is expected to be fit or else cannot perform his or her function. Pag may disability ka, syempre, it will affect your duty. Pursuant to Section 2, which is under the medical examination and treatment of RA 4670, otherwise known as the Magna Carta to public school teachers, teachers shall undergo annual physical examination free of charge. Again, annual examination free of charge, not less than once a year during the professional's life. As a professional teacher kasi, Section 4 states that every teacher shall possess and actualize a full commitment and devotion to his or her duty. And Section 5 states that a teacher shall not engage in the promotion of any political, religious, or other partisan interest and shall not directly or indirectly solicit, require, collect, or receive any money or service or other valuable material from any person or entity for such purposes. As a professional teacher, you as the teacher is expected not to take advantage of your possession or power to promote your own interests, whether political nor religious, nor to solicit, require, or collect any money, service, or material from your students or any person. Also, Section 6 states that every teacher shall vote and shall exercise all other constitutional rights and responsibility. A professional teacher violates Section 6 of Article 2 if you fail to vote for no justifiable reason, like wala kang valid reason, bakit hindi ka nag-vote? Voting is a teacher's participation in the affairs of the state. And Section 7, a teacher shall not use his position or official authority or influence to coerce any other person to follow any political course of action. A teacher violates Section 7 of Article 2 if you engages in partisan politics. Again, you are in politics. Teachers have to preserve the dignity of education sector by not engaging directly or indirectly in the electioneering except just to vote. Engaging in participant politics is teachers' abuse of authority. Section 8, every teacher shall enjoy academic freedom and shall have privilege of expounding the product of his researches and investigations, provided that if the results are inimical to the declared policies of the state, they shall be brought to the proper authorities for appropriate remedial action. You as a professional teacher shall enjoy academic freedom. So, you can share the product of your researches and investigations in support of the endless search for truth. However, this academic freedom is not absolute. It has limitations. If the research findings are damaging to the state, the research results shall be submitted to the proper authorities for appropriate actions. The next article is that the teacher and the community. This is under Article 3. The teacher works in, for, and with the community where he or she belongs. He or she rubs elbows with the leaders and members of the community who, like him or her, aspire for the development of the young. He or she works in a community with its own established customs and traditions, which are sometimes different from the practices of the community where he, she, or belongs. So you really have to adopt to the kind of community and the kind of beliefs and rules being implemented in the school where you are teaching. In this part of our lesson, we will look at how you, as a professional teacher, future professional teacher, should relate with the community, which is another group of tertiary stakeholders. Under the section 1 of Article 3, a teacher is a facilitator of learning and of the development of the youth. He shall therefore render the best services by providing an environment conducive to such learning and growth. Also, Section 2, every teacher shall provide leadership and initiative to actively participate in community movements for moral, social, educational, economic, and civic betterment. In Section 3, every teacher shall merit responsible social recognition for which purpose he shall behave with honor and dignity at all times, and refrain from such activities such as gambling, smoking, drunkenness, and other excesses, much less illicit relations. And Section 4, every teacher shall study and understand local customs and traditions in order to have sympathetic attitude. Therefore, refrain from disparaging the community. The section 5 states that every teacher shall help the school keep the people in the community informed about the school's work and accomplishments as well as its needs and problems. And also, section 6, every teacher is intellectual leader in the community and shall welcome the opportunity to provide such leadership when needed, to extend counseling services, and to actively be involved in matters affecting the welfare of the people. And Section 7, every teacher shall maintain harmonious and pleasant personal and official relations with other professionals, with government officials, and with the people individually or collectively. Section 8 states that a teacher possesses freedom to attend church and worships as appropriate, but shall not use his position and influence to proselyte others. To sum up all the 8 sections of Article 3, as a professional teacher, he or she is a facilitator of learning by ensuring that he or she provides a favorable environment for learning. He or she acts as a leader by initiating and participating in community activities for the benefit of community members and the community as a whole. As a community leader, he or she deals with other professionals and community officials harmoniously and professionally because he or she wants to work with the community. He or she keeps people informed of developments sa school kung saan siya belong. He or she does not take advantage of his or her position as a professional teacher to proselyte. When I say proselyte, guys, just to be converted into another religion or be converted on the religion of your religion as a teacher. Neither does he or she criticize community customs and traditions. Instead, he or she exerts efforts to understand them with a sympathetic attitude. Above all, to be a credible community leader, he or she earns the respect of community by behaving with dignity at all times and so will not engage in vices such as gambling, smoking, drunkenness, and illicit relations. Below are keywords which you have to locate in Article 3 of the Code of Ethics. You have to find them and read that section that contains these words once more. And I want you to work as a group and take turn to explain in your own words how a teacher should relate to the tertiary stakeholder, the community, by using the keywords encircled. So I'm going to call random students. You have to study all of these keywords. You have to prepare for an explanation for all of these keywords because I'll be um, choosing random groups. So, hindi mo alam kung kailan at kung sino ang magre-report about this. So, I want you again to read once more the sections that I have just read, and you have to find these words and you have to explain it in your own words.